How's it going, YouTube? Tevin here for the Loser Lounge to bring you guys our playthrough of Cuphead. So, how this came about, our boy Hesh bought Cuphead and decided, to stream it for us over in the lounge. And I played this game before years ago, but I never finished it because it was honestly too hard for me. And then after watching him playing it, I got competitive for something like, I can do this again. So I decided to buy the game on Steam and play it for you guys here today. It's going to be a post commentary showing you, me going through the game. FYI, I beat Hash at it. That's what made it so competitive. I decided to play this game and beat it before he did. So yeah, a little fun tidbit. Kat was also playing it along with us too. So we kind of sort of had a pseudo race. They just didn't know they were racing against me. So in the end, I prevailed. So anyway, in this playthrough, I will be showing you guys Cupheads from start to finish of Cuphead Don't Deal with the Devil. Once upon a time, in a magical place called Inkwell Island, there were two brothers named Cuphead and Mugman. They lived without care under the watchful eye of the wise Elder Kettle. One day, the two boys wandered far from home, and despite the Elder Kettle's many warning, ended up on the wrong side of the tracks and entered the Devil's Casino. Inside, Cuphead and Mugman soon found themselves on the winning streak at the craps table. "Hot dog!" exclaimed King Dice, the casino's sleazy manager. "These fellas can't lose." "Nice run, boys," laughed the newcomer. The brothers gasped. It was the owner's casino. It was the casino's owner, the devil himself. "Now how about we raise the stakes," he suggested with a toothy grin. "Win one more roll and all the loot in my casino is yours," the devil boomed. "But if you lose, I'll have your souls. Deal?" Cuphead, blinded by easy riches, nodded and grabbed the dice for a throw. "Good gosh, Cuphead, no!" cried Mugman, for he understood the danger, but it was too late. "Snake eyes," laughed the devil, was slamming the floor. "You lose!" The brothers trembled in fear as he loomed over them. "Now about those souls." The brothers pleaded for their very lives. "That there must be another way we can repay you," Mugman stammered. "Yes, but please, mister," Cuphead added. Perhaps there is," the devil snickered, pulling out a parchment. "I have here a list of my runaway debtors. Collect their souls for me and I will just might pardon you two mugs." "Now get going," the devil roared, kicking the boys out most rudely. "You have till midnight tomorrow to collect every one of those souls, otherwise I'll be the one collecting yours." Cuphead and Mugman were terribly frightened and ran away as fast as they could. "Come on, Mug," panted Cuphead. "We have to find the Elder Kettle. He'll know what to do." So there's our little bit of narrative of why we're on this journey and why we're going to be fighting all the various creatures and people around Inkwell Island. In fact, as we're doing this, they are making a Cuphead show. I believe the day I'm doing the voiceover for this, I believe it comes out February 9th, so like in 2 more days. And I'm really excited for it. This is why this is a perfect time for us to go ahead and get a jump on this. And like I said before, I am doing this for Loser Lounge just because I got a bunch of other stuff done for my channel already, and I needed to go ahead and, work on some stuff for the good old lounge and get things, like, hopping and everything for everyone so we can get more content for you guys. I did hope to have Kat, and Crazed Lion join me, but not everyone's schedules line up, so I decided to just go ahead and do this one solo for right now, and hopefully in the future, we'll be able to get some more stuff together with you guys. So the first thing we're going to do right now is just go through the tutorial. Not a very hard game to understand. You press A to jump, you're able to double jump, X to shoot, and if you hold down the right bumper trigger, or the right bumper, you are able to aim your shots in any of the 8 directions we have here. If you see a pink dot over on the main field, you can press the A button to parry slap into it and get an extra little boost while in the air. This is good because this will build up your super meter, which lets you do special moves on enemies and bosses as we get into furthermore stuff into the story. You can also use this to revive your partners if you're playing with another person, but since I want to be doing this whole run solo, that won't really be an option for me. So now that we got that whole thing explained and situated, let's go ahead and get a jump on our journey through Inkwell Isle Part 1. So make sure you talk to everyone here because they do have some interesting things to say, and they can give you some items, coins and whatnot, or sorry, they'll give you coins to buy items in the shop that we see over here in the back right. And my goal is I mainly buy everything. I don't show you everything on screen, but the most things I use is the smoke grenade and the chaser. Those are like my main go-to setups that I have that I want to use mostly throughout this thing, just because this is the setup that I'm most familiar with and helps me in the long run when it comes to actually going against the bosses in this. So even though I will buy everything, and at some points I do switch up my equipment to, like, you know, try things out and see how they go. For the most part, these are just the basics that I tend to like use the most. So, without further ado, you can pretty much choose where you want to go first. Whenever you buy something, make sure you equip it by pressing the Y button and going into your equip card. And you just switch it and select whichever shot or super you want to get. And the supers I'll show you guys later, but let's go ahead and get into our first boss fight of the game, which is, I forget what they're called already, even though we just saw it. So you guys will be seeing, you know, my good run of all this, but for the very first one, I want to show you guys, you know, the trial and error that really comes with this game. Even though, like, it's got this whole cartoon aesthetic, it's really difficult. And it takes a bit to actually get used to everything. That's why you have to really, like, you know, it's like I said before, trial and error. That really is what the name of the game. Because as you face the bosses more and more, you learn their patterns, how to dodge their attacks, and how to read it better. And eventually, you know, you get to like God tier status just for fighting this one boss, and then you gotta move on and do the whole thing again with the next set. So the main reason why I want to show this boss off multiple times is because it's one of the 4 or 5 bosses in this game that has a different outcome depending on how you do it. So there's 3 bosses in this that makes up the whole entire fight. And what differs is if you actually don't attack the second boss in this one, which is the onion, you will go straight to the third one, but it will have a little twist. So since I didn't attack the onion, instead this little radish thing comes out and makes a little appearance for the final part of the boss's section. And because this is really difficult to fight with the radish on screen, I just said, yeah, no, forget that. So here is where I just go ahead and fight all of them. That's one of the main ones. I don't show off the other 4 in this, but I will make mention of them when I go to it, just because at the time I was recording this, I was just focused on surviving and like beating them, because like I said, I wanted to beat Hash, so I had to make sure I got this done in a timely manner so I could beat him. So instead of not shooting a shot over the like, we're going to take him out this time around. Coincidentally, the bosses in this game, they don't take that long to actually defeat, but they are difficult, so those seconds tend to like feel like forever, so it's really gonna weigh on me as I get there later on. So now with the onion, now the carrot takes its place, and since we don't have the radish to deal with, I can freely move about the ground without having to actually see anything, or have to worry about getting hit for anything on the ground. So the main thing, you really want to avoid his little psychedelic eyeball shots that he sends out, as well as these baby carrot missiles that come shooting everywhere, because, well, they just make it hard to move. There's not much to it. Also, make sure you utilize your supers whenever you can, because those will deal additional damage and will help you out in the long run, so you don't have to like worry about trying to survive the entire time, and you can actually hit them. I'm surprised I even got through that one. I should have got hit and died. But without further ado, I think this is it for the first boss, and it's a knockout surprise.
Dude.
It's gonna happen, you know.
Dude, that was so...
And if you do hear voices in the background, like I said, I was recording this, but I was also streaming it to the other losers of the lounge, so at some points you will hear their voices in there. They're not actually here with me, they're just a part of the recording that I did when I was actually getting this all done, because it captures both my Discord and this game while I was recording. The root pack, that's what they're called. Gosh darn it, can't believe I forgot that. And this game is kinda loud, so I do go about like turning some things down. You will hear somewhat of like a staticky noise in the background. That's naturally part of the game. However, I do heighten up the music in this game just so you guys can hear the background audio just a little bit better. So I will try to get that at a nice steady tone to where it's not so bad. But we'll go ahead and get into the next boss fight. Actually no, I think the next thing I do is a run and gun, because that's how this game is separated into 2 different types of things. either a straight up boss fight or a run and gun level where your objectives is to get from point A to point B while collecting the coins in the stage so you can use it to buy items. I will collect every single coin in here. I don't know if I show them all on screen just because, actually no, I think that, no, I definitely do not, because I do remember certain levels, I just said forget it as soon as I got through the level, and then when I was a bit more patient and I wasn't recording, I got them no problem. And that tends to happen a lot. You stress out when you're actually recording, but when it comes to like doing it off screen, you're perfectly fine because you're not so focused on getting everything, you know, perfect for people who are going to be seeing you and judging you silently on YouTube. Yes, it's exactly, Kat, exactly like that. So, go ahead and grab this coin.
Literally so ugly.
I think at the time when we were actually doing this, she was working on a project. I don't remember what it was exactly, but it was probably something for the channel. But no, I don't think they're ugly, Katie. I think they're fine. And I keep calling her Katie just because that's her name. Even though she really prefers to be called Kat. For the run and gun levels, there's also an additional run you can do, which is the pacifist run. And how you go about doing that is making sure that you don't fire a single shot. However, you did just see just now there was an enemy that I had to destroy in order to actually move forward. And that's one of the many downside things you see on here, because you actually have to get hit and you make use of invincibility frames actually to get through everything. And this should be like probably the only video that has me like where you can actually vividly hear the other losers on this, just because I do like to record like the whole entire island in like one video and then just separate it into smaller segments for you guys. So at some points you will hear them, some points you won't. It just depends. I'm surprised I got an A+. I did really good on this, but it's the very first one, so that's to be expected. But as we go on, it will get harder, and this game itself is just a huge headache. So anyone that has played this game, you know what I'm talking about as we take on Cuphead Legrand in the next boss fight. So yeah, this game is challenging. I am really proud of myself for actually beating it. I'm proud of anyone who honestly gives it a try and can beat it. No matter like if you're doing it on simple, standard, expert run, any like playing a game like this and getting through any part of it is an achievement in and of itself, and anyone should be proud that they managed to get through this. And this is pretty much how a lot of the fights went. If I felt like I could have did better at a certain part, I will just straight up like press start and hit retry, because it's like, no, I can do better. And that's what me and Hash actually share in common, because that's what we tend to do a lot when we're going through this game. If we got to a part to where it's like, no, I could do that a lot better, we would like literally stop. Even if we were like almost at the end, we would just say, nope, do it again, because we can do it better. Because we just always try to do better than what our previous attempt was. And when we get to the part where he starts punching, and honestly, like anytime he throws a punch, it's best to just like crouch down and just, he'll always miss you. But for the most part, Inkwell Island Part 1, all the bosses, they're pretty standard. They're not that difficult. They're difficult, mind you, but they're not that bad. As we hit Inkwell Isle 2 and 3, that's when, really especially 2, that's where like things pick up and where it gets really difficult. For this specific section, the only part of him you can really damage is the outline of his body on his tombstones. That's why you mainly see me running and jumping to actually like attack him, because my shots need to hit that portion of his body to actually deal damage and actually end this fight, so it doesn't drag on any longer. And do I do this without getting hit? I think I do, just because I did it so many times. Because let me tell you, this game is definitely not for the faint of heart. I'm actually surprised I did do that without getting hit. Go me. Go past me.
Hello, Justin.
Oh, Justin joined us on this. You can barely ever hear me talk because I was just straight up silent while I was doing this.
What do you say?
Don't know. I'm definitely like glad I do have some of this in there, because it helps me somewhat remember what we were doing at the time. I think this particular session, I think in this section we're talking about Crab Game. Okay, good. As long as they're not talking about anything important or personal, I'll probably cut those things out. Oh, I was wrong when I said there's 2 types of levels. There's 3 types. Well, really, 2, and really, like, they differ. Because this is part of the boss fight section, to where some bosses will be in an aerial format where you fight them from a plane. In order to get through these ones, you take the position of a plane, press Y to shrink, actually increase your maneuverability. You can still parry with the A button, so that doesn't change. And your super is slightly different in this one. So I think this will be the last one I do. Actually, no, because none of them are really less than a minute, so I think I'm going to go ahead and stop now and just go ahead and buy some things to get set up for the next video where we go on to take on Hildeberg. So, thank you guys for joining the Loser Lounge, part 1 of Let's Play Cuphead Don't Deal with the Devil, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one where we move on to the next few bosses and get through there. No, it said pea sugar. Thank you, Kat.
Oh.
So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Like the video, leave a video, like, leave a comment, all those things I normally say on my channel, but now I'm going to say it for here. So until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. So take care, everyone.